Hi everyone, it's Monica and welcome back to Taylor-Made Cards for You. Well, I'm really excited to be sharing with you a journal I've been working on for the last, several weeks. And I've finally finished it, so I wanted to go ahead and give you a walkthrough. It is a hard journal, and I am, as you can see, doing a Titanic theme. So I introduced a new theme kit in my store last month. And it was over the thing was basically about like ocean liners and like the golden days of ocean liners, when people would take trips across the ocean and come from Europe to New York or New York to Europe. And that really was my original theme. And then as I started going along, I decided to go ahead and turn it into a Titanic thing because the news had been talking about the anniversary of the Titanic movie. So I thought, well, that would be kind of fun to go ahead and turn it into a Titanic theme. So that's what I did. So let me go ahead and walk you through my journal here. Now, I know some of the pieces probably are not Titanic theme, but they did work for an ocean liner. So for instance, this sailing schedule here wasn't actually part of Titanic, but it was a vintage sailing schedule that I had in my stash, and I also included it in my kit last month. So that's kind of how I started my cover. And then of course I'm using some paper dolls here, and then I have some stickers that I was able to find for my Titanic theme cover. And then on the side here I put the Queen of the Ocean Titanic. And then on the back again, I'm using that same sailing schedule. It's just a different portion of it. And then right in the middle, I put the White Star line, which of course was the Titanic line. All right, so let's go ahead and do a walkthrough here. So when you open it up, I have a little pocket here. And I created this passport photo, I guess. And I know probably back then, the people from the ocean, the people from the Titanic, the passengers, didn't probably have passports, but I did go ahead and create this using one of the paper dolls from Tim Holtz's collection, along with some remnant rubs, and it tucks in really nicely here. And as you can see, I have some paper here in the background that are sailing schedules and different themes for sailing, and I use that as my background paper. These actually are vintage postage stamps that I went ahead and I added as decoration. All right, so the first page has the background of Nearer My God to Thee. And if you're familiar with Titanic, this is the song that the band was playing when the Titanic actually went down. So I used that as background, and then I used this mother and daughter, and then I added a little ticket here. Now I left this page blank because I really like this gentleman here, and as I go through the book you'll see that I have some extra ephemera that I've put in some of the pockets, so I figure whoever ends up with this journal can decorate a couple of pages themselves if they'd like to. This page here again has the Titanic and the White Star line as a background. I did put some more advertisements on the background, and then this is a family that perhaps could have been on the ship. Now here's the pocket I was talking about, where I stuffed it with all of the extra ephemera pieces that I did not use, and I certainly didn't want them to go to waste, so I went ahead and just stuck them here for somebody to use. And then on the background I have a photo tin, I guess is what it could have been, and one of the passengers. Let's stick this back in here. It's a lot. Oh, I also have a tag here. This is part of the Golden Age of Ocean Liners, these two tags that I went ahead and I printed out. Perhaps these would be like a dinner or something coming down that grand staircase, of course. But I guess this is actually outside, so it wouldn't be the grand staircase, would it? But anyway, maybe a couple of passengers that could have been on the ship. All right. So as you turn it here, these two pieces are my favorite pieces. These actually come out, and this is a boarding pass for the RMS Titanic, And as you can see, I did decorate both sides. On the back, I put the lunch menu for the day. And then I created some belly bands, and I decorated the belly bands with some remnant rubs. I love these pieces. All right, as you go through, again, I have another tuck here where I stuck this old tag. I guess it's not too old, but I went ahead and stuck it in here. And then I had this vintage piece of paper that has some writing on it. And I just went ahead and just kept it tucked in here. Just I thought it was a nice addition. And then again, another oversized envelope, perhaps some correspondence that was written from a passenger, or perhaps maybe from one of the crew members. Who knows? And then again, I kept it as a little pocket. So I have a little tuck going on here. All right. The next page, I added these two journaling cards. This is a traveling journal. So perhaps they could put the name and the country that they were at. And then this is a little journal that could be filled out if you're giving it as a gift to somebody. So I included those in here. And then this could have been maybe a porter on the ship. And then I have a couple of tickets from the White Star for 2 passengers of the Titanic. Lots of background items here, just creating a little bit of a collage for a background. And then I've got the ship photo here. Here is another little tuck where I put a cabinet card and another poster of the Titanic is right there. Got another little pocket here. Again, just some tucks with pieces of ephemera. And then this is a pocket with a photo as well. Here is a vintage postcard that I put in here using some of these corner photo tabs. As you can see, it is pretty old. It says it's 1911, December 1911. So I stuck that in here. And then on this side here, just another photo with some background ephemera pieces. I also added some remnant rubs as well. Here is another little belly band, and this is just one of those coin envelopes from Tim Holtz's die set from Sussex. I did put these pictures here with a 1912 fashion plate. And then inside I put some vintage lace. And then here is some ephemera pieces from perhaps one of the estate rooms where they had a comb for their hair, brooch, jewelry, and then a mirror, of course, to be able to see their reflection. I've got some more remnant rubs here as well. Okay, so again, perhaps these were members of the crew. These maybe were the guys that were up on the tower that spotted the iceberg. They certainly didn't do a very good job, did they? So I added them with the Titanic, and then I have some background ephemera pieces. Again, another little envelope that can be used as a tuck. I've got some vintage ephemera in here along with some printed, a little postcard, and then of course I added some remnant rubs to kind of enhance the theme. Another blank page. Just love this page, so I decided to leave it blank, like the images. And then this is a tag I created of maybe someone boarding. Just a lot of pieces here. This is something I put together with die cuts from Sussex, from Tim Holtz. and some more die cuts, a hat that I embossed. There's a lot of things going on here, and then I put the word Titanic down here. And I left this loose, and also attached another vintage postcard. This is from the Oxford Hotel in Denver, and this is 1912. Put that together in a minute. And then finally, this is the back cover, another place for ephemera pieces. And let's see, I think I have a couple pieces in here. Oh. So a library card, and then just a mini little booklet that fits nicely in here. And then again on the back, I kind of kept the theme going with that that sailing schedule. So that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed my walkthrough. I had a lot of fun creating this journal. I don't do many thick journals because they do take a little bit of time, but I really did have a fun time putting this together, and enjoyed it thoroughly. As you know, I don't keep my projects that I make. I do it just for the joy of creating. So this will end up in my shop, and it will go to the home of one lucky person because I only have the one. But I appreciate you